And welcome back to the United Center. The starting lineups for the New Jersey Nets, 43-39 on the year. And as Ernie mentioned, Keith Van Horn has indeed been installed in the starting lineup, and Jason Williams will not start. It'll be Sam Cassell, Kerry Kittles in the backcourt, and you saw the front court there. Ron Harper and Michael Jordan at guard, and Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Tony Kukoc up front. Ron Harper was a possible scratch because of a strained back, but he is all right and is starting tonight. Joe Crawford, Lou Grillo, and Bernie Fryer are the officials, and the opening tip, and it'll be Bulls possession to start the game.
Now, we understand that the Bulls naturally will stay within their triangle offense, once in a while play open court. At the other end of the floor, the Nets are very quick in inbounding the ball, getting it down, and getting into an early offense.
Tony Kukoc and Scottie Pippen. Pippen, of course, comes in with fresh legs into the series after being injured for the first 33 games to start the year. Michael Jordan misses the first shot, and this is the big strength for the Bulls, the offensive rebounding by Dennis Rodman.
Well, we have the two best in the league. Jason Williams at 7 a game. Dennis Rodman at 5 offensive boards a game.
But Williams not starting, and Pippen in the backcourt. 10 on the shot clock for the Bills as Gill guards Pippen. Rodman sets a screen, and with 3 seconds to go, stepping on the line, a violation was Ron Harper, and the Nets have the ball with no score yet in the opening minute.
Well, we have two outstanding offensive rebounding teams. The Nets are first in the league at close to 17, and then right there Chicago third at right around 15.5 a game.
Good matchup right here. Van Horn against Kukoc, and Keith Van Horn, who's been in bed the last 2 days with that stomach virus, but having a spectacular rookie year, gives the Nets the lead.
Now, you're seeing the Nets are picking up down the floor. The reason for this is that they want to run time off and then possibly eliminate one of the options out of the triangle.
Pippen posting up with Cassell on a mismatch inside, and the layup is missed by Pippen, but a foul is called. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, the latest on Keith Van Horn, obviously he had the stomach virus, which developed into an upper respiratory infection and a sore throat. As Dick mentioned, he was on the sick bed the last 2 days. John Calipari didn't think he'd be able to start. However, after working him very vigorously for 20 minutes earlier today, he did not develop a fever, nor did he have a relapse of the flu. When the coach came out just moments before announcing the starting lineup, Van Horn buried a 3 from the corner, gave thumbs up, and they put him in the starting lineup. Dick?
And a good thing for the New Jersey Nets, because Van Horn, next to Tim Duncan, has been the most productive rookie in the NBA this year. One free throw by Pippen. Here is Gatling, a good shooter, and he has been playing well as of late. Chris Gatling gives the Nets a 4-1 lead.
Now, Sam Cassell is the man that makes this ball club run. And you can see they are going to attack the Bulls. They feel that they can potentially wear them down over the 48 minutes.
Harper leaves it for Rodman, 10 on the shot clock. And here is Pippen working against Gill. Pippen has a height advantage on Kendall Gill. Rodman misses the offensive rebound, and it's last touched by the Bulls.
The matchup of Gatling and Rodman. This is Rodman can overpower Gatling on the glass.
Here is Van Horn.
Oh, yes.
He nails a 2-point basket with a foot on the line, but Keith Van Horn right now showing no ill effects of the stomach virus, and the Nets lead the Bulls 6-1 early on. Ron Harper inside the arc misses. Rodman tries to tap it in, and Kerry Kittles, the very impressive second-year guard, comes out with the rebound. Here's Van Horn, and he finally misses, but Kittles comes up with it. Kerry Kittles, who's one of the top 3-point shooters inside the arc, and a shocked crowd, and Bill Jackson watches the Bulls trail by 7.
Well, this is New Jersey net tempo. They are a very dangerous team on the perimeter. Kittles, Van Horn, and Cassell have had outstanding seasons.
They feel they have nothing to lose, and they are a loose bunch coming into this series. Kukoc uses a screen from Pippen.
Now, if you notice, the Nets are switching all over.
1 second on the shot clock. Rodman gives it to Pippen, and Scottie Pippen gives the Bulls their first basket with nearly 3 minutes gone by.
Kendall Gill and Van Horn must help Gatling out. He's overmatched with Rodman. These two guys have got to step back in there and rebound.
lot of ways that John Calipari can go as far as the center position is concerned. No basket as Rodman fouled Gatling before the shot. Ronnie Cycli now a member of this team. And, of course, Jason Williams will also play. And, in fact, Williams is coming into the game now.
Jason Williams, second in rebounding, behind Dennis Rodman at 13.5 a game. They have taken out Keith Van Horn right now, and he's holding his stomach over there while the trainer is talking to him. Now, in Jason Williams, we know that we have a real stud on the boards at both ends.
Cassell misses, and Williams gets the offensive rebound, and you're so right. Too hard on the lay-in, and the Bulls come up with it. But you're right about Jason Williams, an all-star for the first time in his career.
Since I've been in the league, I've never seen a guy average 7 offensive rebounds a game.
Michael Jordan with a spectacular move inside, but couldn't convert it. Here's Gatling working against coach, and Kerry Kittles finds Gill, and you can see the athleticism of the New Jersey Nets early on as they lead again by 7.
The Nets change ends as well as anyone in the league. Their players at the 1, 2, and 3 positions are very quick.
Here is Kukoc going around Gatling, and getting a piece of it was Kendall Gill. A fine defensive play by Gill on Kukoc. And here is Kerry Kittles with a great sweeping lay-in, and New Jersey, 6 for 9 from the field, have taken a 12-3 lead.
Now, don't look at Kittles and think this guy can't finish. We're talking about a player that averaged 17 a game this year, and he shoots a good, solid percentage. A whip it in the open floor.
Remember, the Bulls are playing without Luke Longley, who will probably not play in this series, as Michael Jordan gets his first points of the game. Longley played only 2 of the last 24 games, out with a bruised left knee. Not expected to see action right away in the series. Kittles misses from outside, and here come the Bulls, who trail by 7. Jordan guarded by Kittles. And the Nets will put several different players on Jordan tonight. Good feed that time by Michael to Ron Harper.
Well, if you notice, the early entry right now is working in New Jersey's favor. Now it comes down to shot selection. Can they maintain a solid shot selection over the 48 minutes?
Sam Cassell, who is bothered by the groin and a back injury, but the man John Calipari said who got us here gets his first points of the game. Jordan over Kittles hits. So Michael Jordan now with 4 points, and the Nets lead 14-9.
If you're going to trap Michael Jordan, you've got to come a little bit stronger than that. Cassell came on the trap, and Michael just split it with ease.
But the Nets very active to start this game, Hubie.
Now you're going to see a baseline move by Kukoc. Then we have a little shot block there by Kendall Gill. Kendall makes the save, and here they come. Now, when they come out, now we are talking about quickness. Now, just keep an eye on Kittle, and they allow any kind of shot selection. Now, here we have Tony Kukoc with the ball. He's going to hit Michael in on the post. Sam Cassell will leave his man and come on a trap. But just watch how easily Michael splits the trap. It's the trap guy coming who's responsible for the split. And you just can't make it easy. And that was too easy for a Michael Jordan.
Sam Cassell missed the shot for the New Jersey Nets. And the Bulls trailing by 5. They were down by 9 early on. Harper beats his man inside. He beats Sam Cassell. So Ron Harper and Michael Jordan have 8 of the Bulls' 11 points.
Well, you can come down the floor and overplay, Dick, and do that. But unfortunately, you're opening yourself up for quick hit, pass, and cut action.
Jordan is guarding Kittles, and he's going to have his work cut out defensively. Gatling goes in and is tipped up and in by Jason Williams. Once again, doing the number off the offensive glass.
Now, this is a guy who's got a broken thumb on the one hand, and we know that he cannot grab the ball or squeeze it. He's in already. He has 2 offensive rebounds, and they've scored on both.
And he said he would start. He didn't start, but he came in pretty quickly. Here is Tony Kukoc popping out, and Jason Williams is tapped in by Scottie Pippen, but I wonder whether Williams had more to do with it than Scottie.
Big thing that we're seeing right now, the Bulls are doing what they do best, and that is when they shoot, get on the offensive glass and score.
Sam Cassell in the perimeter with Kendall Gill. Gill shooting over Scottie Pippen. Tony Kukoc position for the rebound. So the Bulls coming back in this first quarter, and Scottie Pippen could not handle the pass out of bounds. Nets ball. Craig Sager.
Well, Keith Van Horn complained of a stomach ailment. Also came out, talked to the trainer, Ted Arzonico. They gave him fluids, and now he talked to Coach Calipari and says he feels good enough to go back in. So next dead ball, we'll see Keith Van Horn.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Here's Gatling, and he cannot convert on the good pass by Cassell. Here's a 3-on-1 break for the Bulls. Here's Ron Harper stuffing it through, and the Bulls have come back to trail John Calipari's Nets by only one.
Well, it's like a rule of thumb in this league. You miss a layup at one end of the floor, it's amazing how quick in the NBA they score at the other end, usually within 3 to 4 seconds.
The New Jersey Nets, who lost all 4 games to the Bulls in the regular season, and Jason Williams with a good feed from Cassell on the screen and roll, and New Jersey up by 3 with under 4.5 to play in the first quarter. Ron Harper fouled by Sam Cassell.
Now here we have the Bulls coming on a break. This is a 3-on-1, a good decision and a smart move by Cassell. Do not foul the man because they need Cassell. He needs major minutes in this ball game. Now this is just a nice screen and roll with Jason Williams stepping up. Kukoc very soft on the rotation.
Keith Van Horn, as Craig had anticipated, has come back into the game, replacing Chris Gatling. Harper misses the first free throw. There is Van Horn, who has 4 points, both on perimeter shots.
Dick, in the early going defensively, New Jersey is trying to front the majority of the post-up people, and they are paying a price because Chicago taking their time, throwing the lob over the top, and they're getting high percentage shots, naturally layups.
Will that call for an adjustment by Calipari?
Well, yeah, he's got to play either on a three-quarter side. He does not want to play behind because he feels that's when you're playing into the hands of the ball.
Van Horn, now Gill, and Kendall Gill going baseline. Gill, native of Chicago, coming back home, played at the University of Illinois. Stands 6'5", but closer to 6'3", but a very important cog in this New Jersey Net effort this year. The Nets by 4. Van Horn coming out to meet Kukoc, and he hits a 3. The first 3-point basket of the game by Tony Kukoc.
Yeah, Van Horn was very late on that, and Kukoc just loves to shoot the 3, especially from that area of the floor.
So the net lead is cut to 1, and a bad pass, and the first turnover committed by the New Jersey Nets on a mix-up. And the Bulls in position to take their first lead of the game with 3:39 remaining in the first quarter, and a 20-second timeout called by Chicago.
I like the game plan offensively for the New Jersey Nets. They're doing a very nice job on screen and roll, staggered screens, staggered screen and roll situation. They're getting what they want. But when you play the Bulls, you have to be careful. And that is, you've got to take your time, get high percentage shots, and then defend. Right now, the Nets are not defending. They're very soft at the defensive end of the floor.
Easier said than done, we might add. Coming up tonight, it's game 1 of the Minnesota-Seattle series on TBS. And following our game, it's the Portland Trail Blazers against the Los Angeles Lakers. So a lot of basketball yet to be played with the final game 1 action tonight.
Now, we have played 8.5 minutes, and Michael Jordan right now is just out on the floor. He has not been involved in, a great deal of the offensive maneuvering.
Here's Ron Harper on a feed from Kukoc, and the Bulls getting a lot of layups, have hit 8 of their last 9 after an early drought.
Dick, anytime they hit the wing and cut down the middle of the floor, they're wide open.
And the first lead of the game for the defending champions. Here's Kendall Gill going baseline, and Rodman the rebound, being harassed by Cassell, but the Bulls get it up anyway. And here is Pippen going strong, and the foul against Kittle.
Now right here it is Pippen looking down inside to Kukoc, and then you get the good ball fake, and then all they're doing is cutting to the basket. The Nets are late on their rotations, and all people are doing from the opposite side of the floor, it's just foot quickness.
Kittle's picking up his second personal foul, so it's ironic, Hubie, that the Nets, who are so athletic and mobile on the offensive end, are down a step on the other side.
Well, the Bulls have seen all types of defenses, Dick, in their runs for 5 championships. They take their time, they stay within a triangle offense, and then they just move it out a little further, and then they beat you with their passing angles.
Nets have trouble solving that triangle.
We'd like to show you how the Bulls are carving up this defense. Right now, Keith Van Horn is coming up and trapping Scottie Pippen. He's going to throw the ball to Kukoc. Now, right here, Sam Cassell is coming across to play the man. But these two people here are late on the cutter coming right down the middle of the floor. And the old story, when your man leaves you, cut to the front of the rim. Now, the two defenders who are on the side of the floor who should pick that man up have been late time and time again. They just don't see it, and it's cost them 3 layups.
1 for 9 shooting to start the game, but since, as we mentioned, 8 for 9. Sherman Douglas has come in the game replacing Kerry Kittles, who went out with 2 personal fouls. Douglas, a big hero in the playoff clinching game against Detroit last Sunday, and Douglas going to the basket is fouled, and upset that he didn't make the basket as he slammed the post behind.
Well, Sherman Douglas is an offensive player. He's always looking to score, and this is just a strong move and an easy layup, and he knows that he missed the bunny.
Sherman Douglas, who had 18 points and 11 assists, 5 steals and 3 rebounds, coming up big, playing for the point guard Cassell, who was hurt against Detroit to clinch the playoff berth. He was cut by Denver this year at age 31 and looked like maybe his career was on the downslide.
Well, he's won at least 3 games by himself for the Nets this year in a backup role.
1 out of 2 for Sherman Douglas, and the Bulls by 1.
Now, right now, the Nets are really small. You have Cassell and Douglas in the backcourt right now, and they can be posted up at will by the Bulls.
Jason Williams, the center, and Jordan shooting over Douglas, and the rebound by Van Horn. Michael Jordan, who has scored 4. Leading scorer for the Bulls is Harper. He has 9, and he was questionable as to whether he'd start. Van Horn misses a 3. Jordan the rebound, and a 4-on-3 for the Bulls. Kukoc finds Harper, and Harper off to a great start. Now has 11 points, and the Bulls have opened their lead to 3.
Now remember, by going small with Douglas and Cassell in there, Harper and Michael Jordan have anywhere between 4 and 5 inch advantage at the offensive end of the floor.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Van Horn playing cat and mouse with Kukoc, and finally misses from the perimeter. So Keith Van Horn, who's obviously not 100%, hit his first 2 shots, but has missed all of them since. Rodman, and that was deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Nets.
Now, Cassell is just trying to ward off Michael. Michael will be able to post up any time that he pleases, whether he curls into the triangle or he runs right in. This will be a nightmare if the Bulls go to Michael.
Harper had a great opportunity, but this time could not finish. And with under a minute and a half remaining in the first quarter, the Bulls lead by 3. Nets trying to hold on to their composure here after a very impressive early start where they led by 9. Sherman Douglas hits, and Douglas giving the Nets some production off the bench. Cuts the lead to 1.
Well, Sherman Douglas is not a big 3-point shooter. He likes that 18 to 20-foot shot, and he's extremely productive, and he can distribute the basketball in traffic.
And a whistle, and we're going to have a foul. Sam Cassell, a technical foul has been called against Sam Cassell. That will be his second personal, and a technical on top.
Right now, Sam Cassell, that's why I said easy. Michael took him right down into the low post. He's overmatched, and you know what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to rough Michael up. Well, the referees were right on top of the call. Had excellent position.
And Lucius Harris will come into the game for the Nets. Michael Jordan makes good on the technical, and here's where it all happened.
Yeah, you can see right there. Now, Cassell grabbed him the very first time. Now, we're only seeing probably the end. Michael had to get from the top of the key down into that area.
Lucius Harris, in his 5th year from Long Beach State, replaces Sam Cassell, who scored 4 points but picked up 2 personal fouls. Michael Jordan up and under over Harris, and the rebound by Van Horn. Here's Sherman Douglas ahead to Harris, and Harris stops and misses the jumper.
That's tough to do as soon as you come into the game after sitting for that entire quarter.
Oh, for Scottie Pippen, it's a lot different. He's been in there from the start. Pippen now with 9, hitting a 3, and the Bulls lead by 5 with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. But you're right, Harris couldn't even get acclimated before he put it up there. Gill working against Scottie Pippen slices in and gets the basket. Kendall Gill, and it's a 3-point Chicago lead.
The Nets must get to Scottie Pippen in transition. He launches 5 threes a game, and the majority of them come when they're running on the break.
Harper with 11 and Pippen with 9 are the leading scorers for the Bulls. Not much from Michael so far. 5 points. He lost possession, but Pippen is there. 6 on the shot clock.
Nice.
And Harper goes right around Kendall Gill, and they're going to count the basket, I believe. The basket is good, and a foul is called as well on the Nets, and it will be on Lucius Harris.
Yeah, now he's all upset. Now you're going to see a nice ball fake right here. Gill goes for the fake. Now all this action is taking place to the left of your screen. Unfortunately, we did not have it with that look.
Well, no one's perfect. Harris committing the foul, and Michael Jordan will be on the line. So the Nets' inexperience making its appearance in a big way here in the final 7 minutes of this first quarter. The final seconds of the first quarter with the Bulls leading by 6, and Douglas fouled by Brown, and that was the first foul in the last 2 minutes. So not a shooting situation, and the Nets will inbound with 4.7 on the clock.
Well, that was a very smart foul, mainly because Douglas had his shoulder ahead of the defender.
Gill will inbound, and he's got Douglas. Time running down. Randy Brown now guarding Sherman Douglas, and Douglas fires it up, and the basket counts. Sherman Douglas giving the New Jersey Nets a boost, and did they need it as they'll trail by 4 after the first quarter.
Now Sherman Douglas can get it done. He is an offensive player, and you just cannot say that he is not going to look for that shot attempt first.
So at the end of the first quarter here at the United Center, sparked by Ron Harper's 13 points, the Bulls lead the Nets by a score of 31-27, a high-scoring affair. The Chicago Bulls with a 31-27 lead over the New Jersey Nets in the 1-8 matchup as we start the second quarter. Michael Jordan, a relatively quiet first quarter, scored only 6 points on 2 for 6 shooting, hit both of his free throws. That's because Ron Harper, who's bothered with a strained back and almost did not start tonight, leads the Bulls with 13. Gill tops the Nets with 6.
At the end of the first quarter, New Jersey 52%, Chicago 50. Chicago 6 offensive rebounds and 7 points on the fast break.
And they were easy baskets at that. Steve Kerr has come in the game, so Kerr and Randy Brown make up the backcourt. Scott Burrell also checks in for the Bulls, and a high arcing shot missed by Brown, and into the hands of Lucius Harris. So Harris, Douglas, Williams, Van Horn, and Gill are the 5 in there for the Nets. Here's Harris, and the Pippen guarding Van Horn. Goaltending is called against Scottie Pippen, and Keith Van Horn gets credit for the basket.
Now that was just a beautiful move by Van Horn because he came with the left hand. Look at this right here. Sees a threat, and that was definitely on the way down.
Dennis Rodman remains in the game. Kerr is being guarded by Harris, and Rodman tries to get it to Pippen, who loses it, and it'll be Nets ball. 1 minute gone by in the second quarter. Along with Hubie Brown and Craig Sager, this is Dick Stockton here at the United Center. Game 1, best of 5, and the Bulls lead by 2. The Nets led by as many as 9 early in this first quarter. And Douglas tried to get it to Van Horn, and he goes out of bounds for another net turnover.
Well, that time Van Horn was fronted, and Douglas did not wait. Anytime that a guy is fronted in the low post, allow him to call for the ball, then make the pass.
Steve Kerr, who's played very well against the Nets, including his season's high of 21 points. So Bill Jackson thinks he'll get mileage from the veteran guard against the Nets in this opening series. Pretty fake. Pippen with the basket, Scottie with 11, and remember, he's the healthiest he has been in the month of April in many years.
The Nets are switching on all ball crosses, and it's getting him in a little bit of trouble because they're getting mismatches, and the Bulls are taking advantage of it. That was a pretty ball fake by Scottie Pippen.
Here's Van Horn going inside, and Van Horn beating Burrell. Van Horn now has 8, and he is the Nets' top scorer. So the Nets hang in there with the Bulls, who lead again by only 2.
If you're going to front the post, you've got to jam the passer.
9 on the shot clock. Scott Burrell misses a 3, and once again Van Horn gets the rebound.
We've been saying this is New Jersey tempo. This is how they want to play this series.
Kendall Gill misses, and Lucius Harris with the offensive rebound draws the foul. This team does not mind shooting from anywhere on the floor, no matter how crazy the shot appears.
Well, they played 4 games during a year. New Jersey has lost all 4. They shot 41%. Okay, against the Bulls. But what they do, they shoot and miss. They crash the offensive glass, and you're getting a good idea of how they ended up first in the league.
Well, the Nets in a high-scoring game, staying with the Bulls, trailing by 2. Here's what's on tap. Coming up on TBS at 9:30. Game 1 between the Sonics and the Timberwolves. Next here on TNT, it'll be the Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers. And what a wild Western Conference playoff we started with last night, with the road wins by Houston over Utah in a big shocker, and the Spurs winning on the road at Phoenix. Still believe that Utah game, you know.
Oh, well, listen, they did a great job shooting threes last night, Dick. They were 10 for 22. And when you add that extra 10 in there, the beginning of the third quarter, Utah came out and went 0 for 5 from the floor and then had 5 turnovers. And then, unfortunately, Stockton got fouled and missed 2 foul shots. So it was a run of 11 possessions where they came up empty-handed and fell behind big.
Lucius Harris in his 5th year, played with Dallas and Philadelphia before that, was missing 29 games, had a broken finger this year. And now some pressure on Steve Kerr in the backcourt. The Bulls lead by 1, 33-32, with a little more than 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the second quarter. Burrell, give and go to Pippen, basket counts and a foul, and Van Horn try to stay with Scottie Pippen, but a superb pass by Burrell.
Now, let me tell you something, Dick. That's the second time that Van Horn has been caught. Anytime that the Bulls put the ball into the post, the guy in the corner is going baseline. That is automatic. When the ball goes into the post, you got to hold that guy up with a forearm. Now, they've done it twice in the last minute. Both times Van Horn has been backdoored to the basket.
Chris Gatling has come back in for the Nets, along with Kerry Kittles. Kittles with 2 fouls. There is Gatling, who has been shooting better lately, and figures to have more playing time in this series as long as Luke Longley isn't in there. So right now the Nets have Van Horn, and
they just had 6 guys on the floor.
Well, that balances it out, because John Calipari had 4 men on the floor when the Bulls beat the Nets in that overtime game back on January 23rd. Jason Caffey winning the game on a basket with goaltending against Jason Williams. He had 4 then, 6 now. It averages out to 5.
Well, you can see that the substitution was made, and Harris did not leave the floor.
There is Van Horn posting up against Burrell, and a height advantage on Scott. And a foul on Scott Burrell will send Keith Van Horn to the free throw line.
Yeah, as soon as Van Horn went up on a shot, you know, Burrell bumped him below the waist, and that was the reason for the call. Now, I like what Van Horn is doing at the offensive end of the floor, but at the defensive end of the floor, he's got to, you know, pull his wagon right now and take care of the guys who are cutting to the basket.
Van Horn missing the first 17 games of the year, of his rookie year, with a sprained ankle. But next to Tim Duncan, the most highly regarded rookie, and of course, ironically, his Utah run in Utes after he leaves gets to the NCAA championship game, and that happened before with Oscar Robertson at Cincinnati many years ago. But Van Horn having a very successful rookie year.
Well, he's going to be in this league a long time. He's going to be an all-star player. He's got it all. He's got the entire package. He's a good three-point shooter, an outstanding foul shooter. He helps on the boards, and is probably his best position, Dick, is small forward.
Michael Jordan back in the game. Scottie Pippen goes out having scored 14. Jordan will shoot over Kittles and hit. So Michael Jordan, a very quiet 8 points, but you know he'll have those numbers up there before long, and it's 38-34.
Well, during the year, Michael led the league in shot attempts, 24 a game, and at playoff time, he usually gets it up 27, 28 shots per game. The reason for that, more minutes per night. I'd like to show you Michael just coming off the screen and stepping back right here. Froze his man, shot it in Kittle's face.
Speaking of Kittles, going in for a high arcing shot. Rebound inside by Jason Williams and the foul. So Jason Williams, in the time he has been in there, and remember, playing with the broken thumb, has been a terror off the offensive glass. 3 of his 5 rebounds have been off the offensive board.
Anytime that Williams or Gatling gets an offensive rebound, you should foul him, because they are both 60% foul shooters. Force them to go to the line and make the shot.
Dickie Simpkins will come into the game for the Chicago Bulls. This is his 4th year and the first time that he has been on the playoff roster. Simpkins traded to Golden State and then re-signed and has played much better. In fact, the best he's ever played in a Bull uniform since coming back.
Well, the coaching staff had to make a decision. Do you keep Joe Klein, or do you do Dickie Simpkins as well as Bill Winnington? And they went for that because Simpkins has done an excellent job defensively for them on some of the small centers that they have played in the last month of the season.
And they expect to see small centers at least early on in the playoffs. So it's 38-34. Michael Jordan misses, and the rebound taken down by Harris. So John Calipari said there'll be several players guarding Michael Jordan tonight. Kerry Kittles misses a 3, and Kerr taps it into the hands of Simpkins. 4 minutes have gone by here in the second quarter. We had a high-scoring first quarter, but things have stalled a bit here in the second. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan guarded by Harris. Finds Simpkins. Simpkins has it blocked by Gatling. And here is Douglas. Sherman Douglas flips it up and tries to tap it in. And it's kicked out of bounds by Dennis Rodman. And Rodman very close to getting a technical foul. And he has been well behaved this year, Hubie, compared to a year ago. No question that we have seen a different Dennis Rodman, a lot more under control this season.
Well, he's had an outstanding year, Dick. The amount of time that he's played the center position against some really great ball players, and he's executed well.
Gatling brings the Nets to within 2, so the Nets, who are huge long shots. In fact, someone quoted 1,000-to-1 long shots in this series, and that may be accurate, but right now they're hanging in there with the Bulls. Here's Simpkins guarded by Gatling. Kerr off the screen, and Kerr misses. Rebound by Harris, and the Bulls get back defensively. Douglas going against Simpkins. Beats Gatling. Great play by Sherman Douglas. And the Nets had tied it up, but Douglas comes up hobbling.
Yeah, he's smarting right now. That was a beautiful move as he went underneath the basket, behind the backboard, and then found Gatling in traffic.
No one at the scorer's table, so Douglas apparently all right. Jordan is picked up by Lucius Harris, kicked away, and a turnover. Harris out of play. Douglas in traffic, and he nearly walked. And the frustration of the Nets as Harris fouls Kukoc.
Now, I'll tell you why, Dick. You had a 2-on-1. Gatling was out in front, and Douglas passed them up. And any time that happens, there's a good offensive foul right there. You are not allowed to turn when you set a screen, especially on that guard-around situation.
Nets and the Bulls tied at 38-38, and the Nets bench doing the job with 10 points and 10 rebounds. The Bulls have gotten no production off of their bench as of yet, and Jason Williams doing a great job offensive rebounding wise.
Well, he's leading the Nets with 3 offensive boards. New Jersey has 5, Chicago 6. And remember, we're talking now, these are 2 of the better defensive rebounding teams in the league as well. So you know that to get one, you've got to work pretty hard here tonight.
Dennis Rodman looking for the cutter. This is the triangle offense. Michael Jordan working now against Kendall Gill and gets the reverse layup. It'll be Kerry Kittles, Kendall Gill, and Sam Cassell, among others. We've also seen Lucius Harris, who will share the defensive job on Michael Jordan tonight. Jordan, by the way, with 10. Under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Cassell nowhere to go with it. 6 on the shot clock. Gill guarded by Kukoc, and Kendall Gill. Gatling will fire it up with 1 second on the clock, and not a good offensive sequence at all for New Jersey. Good defense that time by Chicago. Michael Jordan finds an open spot, and again Jason Williams gets position on Dennis Rodman. Here's Cassell, leaves it for Kittles.
Well, they know that he'll shoot it up,
but Kittles throws it away. And now a 3-on-2 for the Bulls.
for Kerr
And that goes by the wayside as Kerr bobbled it. And here is Simpkins. Bulls lead by 2, 40-38. They led by 4 at the end of the first quarter. There's a play that's been working all game as Simpkins goes backdoor to beat Jason Williams and gives the Bulls a 4-point lead in his foul.
Now, Dick, I'm telling you, I'm stunned. They've gotten more layup baskets in this first half than they have in the last 2 months off of this play. Because everyone in this league knows that when that ball goes in, that guy from the corner is cutting to the basket, okay? And you know it. It's automatic. Once in a while, they'll come and run a split. But that's what you must stop.
So Dickie Simpkins will try to complete a 3-point play. Scottie Pippen has come back in the game. He scored 14 points, replacing Steve Kerr. And the 3-point play gives the Bulls a lead of 43-38. Cassell with Jason Williams, Keith Van Horn, Kerry Kittles, and Kendall Gill for the Nets. Cassell in and out on the jump shot attempt. Pippen going to Simpkins inside. And nowhere to go with it, and that was kind of a fade-out turnover.
Well, Simpkins is making a lot of things happen here right now. He's putting his body on people. He's doing a nice job on the boards, and he's running well within the offense.
Cycli gets off the net bench. He has been a terror against the Bulls on occasion, especially this year, and he's going to come on in the game. He's been hurt as well. But right now, Van Horn working against Kukoc. 6 on the shot clock, and the ball knocked away. Last touch by the Bulls. So here is Ronnie Cycli coming into the game. Cycli, who scored 40 points in a game against the Bulls and had some big production. There you see what he has done in the 9 games he has played with the New Jersey Nets. So Cycli, who started with Orlando, didn't want to go to Utah, now with New Jersey in the playoffs, is in the game. We'll take a timeout.
We'd like to show you the triangle offense and the cut from the corner. See, Steve Kerr has the basketball here. He's going to throw the ball into Rodman. Simpkins is going to run. That's the basic move. You'll see Williams come to here and turn his head, and all of a sudden it's a layup. Now this is the third. There's the turn of the head. There's the backdoor move. It's automatic.
And the 24-second clock expires before the Nets get the shot off. And so the Bulls, who have broken the 38 tie with 5 straight points, have a chance to widen the margin.
Now, Dick, the play worked. No doubt about it. They got what they wanted. Unfortunately, the time ran out.
Kukoc with Jordan, Simpkins, Pippen, and Ron Harper back in the game. Harper scored 13 points in the first quarter to lead the team. Pippen tops him with 14. Jordan off the front end. Eichel with 10 still, and here come the Nets.
Give it up.
And here is the Kendall Gill driving in.
Watch out here. Calipari's just close over here.
On an offensive foul called against Kendall Gill, and John Calipari vehemently arguing with Lou Grillo.
And that's a tough one. Anytime you're in a situation like that where you think you got the advantage, Kendall elevated, and he took off. He covered a lot of ground in the air, Dick.
And they're going to call Kerry Kittles with his 3rd personal foul, with a foul away from the ball. So another blow to the New Jersey Nets, and they're going to have to bring in Lucius Harris once again.
Nets right now, Dick, must be very careful in the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds. They cannot get caught. Oh, there's a technical.
Calipari. Yep.
See?
He had it coming.
Well, what happened is he's all upset about the play at the other end of the floor. But at this end of the floor, right here, Kittles definitely fouled Scottie Pippen as he made a move to come into the lane area.
And Michael Jordan on the line. Makes good. That is the 2nd technical against the Nets. Calipari right here, and it was Sam Cassell a little while ago. And so the Bulls now have matched their biggest lead of 6, 44-38.
You're on the road. You have to play smart here right now. Maximize your offensive possessions.
Here is Jordan for 3, and off the front rim, knocked away, and here comes Harris with the ball. The Nets don't want to fall too far behind. Good point, Hubie. By the time intermission comes around, they want to keep it in single digits at least. And Harris guarded by Kukoc, and Cycli guarded inside and is pushed by Dickie Simpkins.
That's the 4th foul, Dick. Now here we have Sam Cassell coming down here, and there it is right there. Now you can see that Kukoc took the charge. He was outside of the box, which was just put in this year.
Cycli, of course, playing with the injured right foot that has hampered him, and another Bulls foul, and this will be their 5th. They're in the penalty, and the Nets will be shooting 2.
Right now, the Nets have just got to regroup. Stay within what you're doing. You're running excellent offensive sets. You're getting good things when you stay and look for the 2nd and 3rd option.
So on the free throw line is Ronnie Cycli, who is a definite concern for Phil Jackson, considering the productive games he has had against the Chicago Bulls. But as John Calipari said today, Cycli hasn't worked in that much with the Nets, and they're really out of sync when he's in the game as far as style is concerned.
Well, he reported, you know, with a foot problem, and then he has not played in a month. Naturally, they used him in that last game of the year against Detroit because they were so shorthanded with Williams out, as well as Michael Cage, who we have not seen tonight because of a hamstring. So they needed bodies at that center position.
And Pippen, Nets thought he had lost it out of bounds, but it's last touch by New Jersey with 13 on the shot clock. 3:01 remaining in this first half. The Chicago Bulls in front, and Simpkins, and Dickie Simpkins with 5 off the bench give the Bulls a 46-39 lead, and their biggest lead of the game.
It's an old rule in defensive basketball. If you trap up, meaning going up above the foul line, you're going to leave a man open for a layup, and we're seeing it time and time again. That's a very dangerous theory to have.
But as John Calipari said, basically we don't defend, we just try to outscore you, and that has to be New Jersey's strategy. Cassell backing his way in with a lay-in, and the score now 46-41. So the Bulls by 5 with 2.5 to play in the first half. It's been a very spirited first half of action between the defending champs and the Nets, who won only 26 games last year. They improved their record by 17 to get into the playoffs for the first time in 4 years.
Sam Cassell has been arguing this entire first half. He's not only playing offensive defense, he's also refereeing. He's their 4th guy out there.
Very versatile performer.
I don't say so.
Tony Kukoc working his way in, only his 2nd basket of the game, and the Bulls lead by 7 as we get close to the 2-minute mark in the first half. That's the 5 series with Game 2 Sunday here at the United Center. Game 3 will be Wednesday at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Gill finding Cycli, and Cycli gets the basket and the foul.
Now that was a beautiful, unselfish move, because when that ball left Cycli's hand, went out to the top, you had a potential shot. Instead, they came right back down inside. Now just watch, it's a beautiful return. Now once Cycli comes up in here, all right, now, from my angle, I thought that he picked up his pivot foot before. He slid the pivot foot and then took the shot. We just didn't have a good angle there.
Cycli's career playoff numbers. The Nets struggling from the free throw line, 5 for 10 in his first half. But Ronnie Cycli with the 3-point play, and even on the bench, Sam Cassell has a lot to say. 48-44, the Bulls lead the Nets with 1:40 to go in the half. Here's Pippen and Gill on the bump.
Oh my!
And that is the 15th foul against the Nets, and so that'll send Scotty to the line.
Now that was a tough call, Dick, mainly because Kendall Gill beat Scottie Pippen to the spot and used his forearm, you know, to shut him out. Now that could have gone either way. You could have let that one go. Now we're having a very spirited game defensively by Kendall Gill. He has played Scottie Pippen, and he's also played Michael Jordan throughout this first half.
The Bulls have lost only 8 times this year when Scottie Pippen has been in the lineup. We told you he was out the first 34 games, and a very integral part, but fresh because, and fresh legs for the veteran, because he missed so many games early. 49-44, Chicago by 5. Sherman Douglas, the point guard, with Gill, Van Horn, Cycli, and Harris. Gill going strong, lays it in. Very good move to the hoop by Kendall Gill.
Anytime that the Nets keep their dribble, they've been able to get down inside.
Steal by Gill. Kukoc committing the foul, a two-shot foul. Hubie, you're the better referee tonight than
Sam and I are vying with the three guys representing the NBA referees room.
Can I be your third?
Now, that's just a great move by Kendall Gill. And I want to bring it out about Kendall tonight because he is where he is supposed to be in all their defensive sets, has done a terrific job rotating and then pressuring Pippen and Jordan in shot attempts.
And Gill doing a great job against Grant Hill defensively in the clinching game last Sunday. Well, coming up on the Nike halftime report, we'll look ahead to the matchup between the Lakers and the Trailblazers. Kenny Smith and Chuck Daly join Ernie Johnson in our studio in Atlanta. The Nike halftime report coming up in a moment, and there is Jason Williams, who is putting ice on his thumb. Amazing, coming back to action and determined to do so when the team gathered in Tampa this week.
And also, right at the top of the show, we brought up the point that the Nets, they have a very good bench, and they have a lot of guys with playoff experience on that bench.
Michael Jordan with the soft jump shot, no basket, and a foul called, and that'll send Jordan to the free throw line. But the Nets, who were down by as many as 7, Hubie, have come back to within 1. So with 53 seconds to go in the half, they have hung in there with the world champs in the first half.
You have to pay attention to the Nets because they are so quick, up and down, athletic. They'll shoot a 3 on the run, and then they all can take it to the hole. They take it to the hole with authority.
Randy Brown in for Steve Kerr. There you see Michael Jordan, who had a career low shooting-wise, or at least the lowest since his second year. Only 4 of 12, 1 out of 2 from the line. And it's 50-48. Nets, who are shooting 51% from the field, looking to tie the game.
Now Sherman Douglas definitely limping.
Van Horn has it knocked away by Kukoc and Randy Brown, and it's last touched by the Nets, says Joey Crawford.
Excellent call by Joey Crawford. Sherman Douglas definitely knocked that away from the defender, who, if he picked it up, was going all the way for a layup.
Steve Kerr, who is a weapon offensively, has come in for Randy Brown in the offense-defense substitution by Phil Jackson. And they're going to call Gill for the push on Jordan. That'll be 3 now on Kendall Gill. So Kerry Kittles and Kendall Gill each with 3 personals for the Nets.
They got to get him out. All right, they're coming with Jason Williams right now, but they've got to get Gill out. You do not want him to pick up a 4th, especially in an offensive set or in transition defense before this quarter ends.
And Michael Jordan, who just made 1 out of 2 from the line, hits his first. Randy Brown, for defensive purposes, is in. And, of course, as Gibby just mentioned, Jason Williams adjusting that soft cast on his thumb. Keith Van Horn goes out. 10 points for Van Horn, who is suffering from stomach problems and really playing a courageous game tonight.
Now, right now, the Nets are gambling with Kendall Gill.
As is Williams courageous. Gill stays in the game. Good point, Hubie, and we'll see what happens now with 33.4 in the quarter and 23 on the shot clock, and a 20-second timeout called by New Jersey.
I like the timeout. Main thing is right now you only have 21 seconds on the shot clock. You know that you are going to get a good play here now. The coaching staff called timeout. You want to get a score, but you know that you're going to have to defend for anywhere between 9 to, say, 11 seconds here. So you want to make sure that everyone is in tune with what you're doing on a score or in transition defense.
And we mentioned Chuck Daly will be along with Kenny Smith and Ernie Johnson in the Nike halftime report from our studios. And the last time the Nets made the playoffs, Chuck Daly was their head coach. And Jason Williams didn't get a chance to play much. He was not as mature as he is now. Predicted the Nets would beat the Knicks in the series. Chuck didn't play him much, but he has matured and a very key man for John Calipari now. 21 on the shot clock and 30 plus remaining in the quarter. Lucius Harris will inbound. It's Harris, Douglas, Ryan Evans, a good shooter, in there along with Cycli and Jason Williams.
Well, Phil Jackson came with Brown at the point guard position. An excellent defender.
And Cycli has it stripped away by Scottie Pippen. And now the Bulls can play for the last shot of the quarter and the half. Down to 10 and under. And Kukoc guarded by Williams. And here is Pippen. Scottie Pippen. And unable to save it is Burrell. Time runs out. And that is the end of the first half. So the Bulls, who had a 4-point lead at the end of the first quarter, still have a lead of 4. Halfway through this one from the United Center, game 1 of the best of 5, and the Chicago Bulls lead the New Jersey Nets 52-48.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT, and after 24 minutes, Chicago leading Jersey 52-48. Later on TNT, the Blazers and the Lakers, and right now on TBS, what was a 20-point lead after the half is now just 8. How about that for Miami and New York? We welcome you to our Atlanta studio, which is the temporary home of the Larry O'Brien Trophy, which goes to the NBA champion. Chuck Daly's got a couple of those, and you won a couple of those, and I watched him on TV. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thank you for being with us tonight. And Chicago's had its hands full so far with New Jersey. Michael Jordan not doing a whole lot. Scottie Pippen not doing huge things. But the key for Chicago early, not Dickie Simpkins either. Who was it?
Ron Harper. Ron
Harper. Of course, I should have known.
You know, he's a guy that he limps around during the regular season. You think he's hurt. He doesn't play them. He plays limited minutes, but when the playoffs come, he gets rejuvenated and he starts playing great basketball.
He was doing that today, especially in the first quarter.
Yeah, here he gets the pass from Michael, lays it in. Then on the next play, he just gets the basketball and gives Kendall Gill a show and go, and gets a three-point play down the lane. I mean, we know he's good defensively, but in the playoffs, somehow he just steps it up offensively.
13 points in the first quarter. At the half, Pippen's got 15, and Michael Jordan has 14. Chuck, as you know, Chicago presents some problems for teams defensively, and the Nets are no exception.
Well, they're taking advantage of some of the mistakes by the rookie Van Horn. We're going to show you a couple of them, but they do that to a lot of people, not just rookies.
He beat him right down the middle of the paint right
Well, that
there.
was the case. That's a philosophy by Jersey. They run him to double team. Then the next one is strictly a backdoor. Hubie said it best. You've got to put a forearm if you're going to play a guy in the wing. Once they hit the post, they automatically go backdoor.
You've seen Keith Van Horn when he's 100% this year as a pretty good rook, and you can tell tonight he's not 100%.
He is not 100%. They still are going to him. He's such a thrust for them offensively. He's absolutely a star in the making. He will be an all-star, no question about it. A great player.
Keith Van Horn has 10 points. He's had the stomach flu the last couple of days. He was iffy for tonight whether he'd start. He did start, then he left, and he came back. He's given it a go in his first playoff game. When we come back, we're going to set our sights out west. Can J.R. Ryder and the Blazers shock the NBA world? He says they're going to do with a first-round upset of Shaq and the Lakers. We shall see later tonight on TNT, and a preview's coming up.
Back at the United Center in the first half of game 1 between the Nets and the Bulls, with the Bulls holding a 52-48 lead. The Nets hanging in there with the Chicagoans, looking for their second three-peat. Nets shooting 51%, but the Bulls passing it around. 12 assists by Pippen, Kukoc, and Rodman. Balanced scoring as well. And while Michael Jordan is only 4 for 12 shooting from the field, he has done other things. He has gone to the free throw line 7 times and has 5 rebounds as well. So as we have seen, Michael Jordan gets the job done, and he has the ability to contribute in so many ways, even if he isn't scoring that well at the particular time. But Hubie, how do you assess the first half and what we might see in the second?
Well, both teams are getting to the foul line, so that's encouraging. But they both have missed 5 foul shot attempts. The New Jersey bench keeping them in the game 14-5, kind of unexpected. Now, the offensive rebounding difficult to get. Only 5 for New Jersey and 5 for the Bulls. Jason Williams with 3, Rodman with 4. Very difficult, Dick.
All right, and right now, just a few moments ago, as a matter of fact, Craig Sager had a chance to chat with Nets head coach John Calipari.
Well, Coach, how much can you get out of Van Horn, Williams, and Cassell in the second half?
Well, Keith is going to stay in the locker room. I don't like the way it looks. I said, stay in there. If he feels better on the fourth, I said, come on out and see if we can get some minutes out of you in the fourth. But he needs to stay in there. He's not he's not healthy right now, so we just told him to stay in. And obviously we got foul trouble, so we're just going to have to buckle down and play and hope they let us play a little bit.
You happy with the tempo?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely the way we want to play the game. We're playing aggressive, we're driving the ball, we're attacking the basket. Everything we've worked on for 2 days, they've performed. This quarter, though, is when Chicago steps it up. This is it. Now we'll go out and we're going to see where we are in this quarter, and we've challenged our guys, so hopefully they'll play.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And there is the scoring leaders for the Nets, but they will not have, as you heard from Coach Calipari, Keith Van Horn will be in the dressing room in the third quarter. He had 10 points on 4 for 8 shooting. And the foul trouble that he talked about concerned Kerry Kittles and Kendall Gill, each with 3 personal fouls. So very important third quarter apparently coming right up here.
New Jersey must cut down on the layups by the Chicago Bulls. And at this end of the floor, they had 8 turnovers in the last 14 minutes of that first half.
Feed inside. Gatling misses. He missed an easy layup, and it was blocked by Kukoc. Got a hand on it. So the Bulls with Pippen, Kukoc, Harper, Rodman, and Michael Jordan, who has 14 points. Kittles, Cassell, Gatling, Gill, and Jason Williams. And the feed inside to Jordan, and Kittles not wanting to foul. Let him put the shot up, and he missed it. Jordan wanted to foul, and Kerry Kittles very careful not to pick up number 4.
Well, both teams came out, ran a set play. Both ended up with layups, and unfortunately no score.
Williams trying to post up against Rodman. Gill working against Scottie Pippen. And Kendall Gill, the offensive rebound by Gatling, and he draws the foul. So the New Jersey Nets pounding the offensive glass in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Well, you like the idea. See, when the Nets one-on-one from the wing, whether it's Gill or Van Horn, and they beat their man, which happens almost every time, well, here come the Bulls on the rotation. If that shot goes up, New Jersey has the advantage getting to the offensive glass.
Gatling has not been a good free throw shooter as he misses the first, as Gatling at 60%. The foul was on Kukoc, his second. Gatling, who led the NBA in shooting percentage 3 years ago while a member of the Golden State Warriors, also was an all-star with Dallas a couple of years ago. 52-49 with a minute going by. Here's Jordan trying to get Kittles in more foul trouble, and his turnaround. How often have we seen that move by Michael Jordan?
Well, that was a difficult shot, mainly because he had 4 guys playing him.
Cassell has it knocked away. And there's Cassell as he pulls up, misses, and the offensive rebound by Jason Williams. And the Nets had a couple of golden opportunities to score, but a foul called against the Nets, and it will be on Cassell, and that is his third.
Now, you can see right there, Jason Williams. He is a major physical force. That's his 4th offensive rebound. But you can see there, he could not take it up with the other hand and hold on to the ball. He lost possession instead of getting a layup.
So Cassell joins the 3 personal foul club for the Nets, who trail by 5. The Bulls trying to take a 1-0 lead. Now Cassell is called for foul number 4, and he'll go out for Sherman Douglas right now.
Yeah, he's walking right over. Plus, I think he got banged on that play. Now, I want to tell you, Michael Jordan set a back screen, and it was a hard back screen on that play. And that's what I think Cassell is upset about. Now, just keep an eye on this. See, now, there it is right there. You see Michael, he just stepped up in there, and they held on, and then, boom, the foul.
Jordan has it stripped away, and it's last touched by the Nets with plenty of time. 17 on the shot clock for the Bulls, who lead 54-49. Kukoc will inbound. Pippen is guarded by Gill. Jordan gets free, and he's fouled.
That was just a beautiful screen on the opposite side, bringing Michael to the ball side of the floor.
And the foul is on Sherman Douglas. That is his first personal foul. So Michael Jordan doing it many ways tonight. He has already gone to the line 7 times.
Now Kendall Gill is holding his right hamstring.
Tell you, you want to talk about walking wounded. That defines the New Jersey Nets with so many players playing hurting, including Keith Van Horn, who is back in the dressing room with his stomach virus still bothering him, apparently.
What I don't like right now, if I'm a New Jersey fan, is they've missed 2 layups, and they've only made 1 of the 2 on the foul line. So you know yourself, when you play the Bulls, you must maximize your easy attempts, Dick. And then, okay, if you struggle outside on the perimeter, you're still in the game because you're scoring inside.
Well, some people say you've got to play a perfect game to beat the Bulls, and that's not necessarily the case, but you've got to come close. Douglas looking for help, and they're going to call Kukoc with his third personal foul.
Well, you have to pay attention to Gatling, because Gatling can put up numbers in a hurry. He has an excellent game with his back to the basket.
Well, so far, this New Jersey team shows no fear of the Bulls, and using fear in the sporting term, they're professionals, of course, but they know they're going to keep shooting and keep firing away, and they're a high-scoring team.
Nice.
Gill to Gatling, and it was Gill with the assist, Gatling with his 9th point. Remember, New Jersey comes in as the top-scoring team in the Eastern Conference at just under 100 points a game.
Big thing here is Gill is breaking the defense down of the Bulls. He's blowing right by Pippen, and he's finding the free man.
The lead is 5 for the Bulls. 2.5 gone by. Harper is open at the free throw line, but misses. And Kerry Kittles comes out of it.
The Nets need this guy to get going because he can put up scores.
He has only 4 points and misses over the top, turning it over to Chicago.
Keep an eye on Gill, breaking the defense down. Now you see as Kukoc moves over, as well as Harper, beautiful drop-off.
But you're right about Kittles. They need his 17.2, and right now he's mired in foul trouble. Trying to be careful defensively and has only 4. Michael Jordan, sensing that, gets the open jumper, and Michael now with 20.
Good timeout, 20 seconds. The reason that happened, you come off that screen and roll. If you're going to switch with a big man on Michael Jordan, that's sheer death. We're going to show you the screen and roll. Here's Rodman making a move. Michael Jordan coming off. But the defender is too far back. And that's Jason Williams. And the Nets are switching right now. And Michael Jordan is just going to shoot it right in your face.
Michael Jordan has scored all 6 Bulls points this quarter, Hubie. And now Kerry Kittles trying to get on track. Guarded by Jordan. 4 on the shot clock. Sherman Douglas has it knocked away. And the buzzer sounded, but it's Bulls ball. They got it back. And here is Jordan spinning his way in and tries to get it in to Dennis Rodman, but Gatling was there.
Well, he shot the gap. That was a beautiful rotation by Gatling.
Nets struggling from the field, only 1 for 9 here in this third quarter, trailing by 7 and trying to keep the Bulls from establishing a double-digit lead. Biggest lead for the Bulls has been 7. They've got it right now. Had it once earlier. Jason Williams telling Kittles to shoot it as the clock went down. Williams finds the ball, feeds Gatling, and Gatling beating Rodman. And I'd have to say that the Bulls, Dennis Rodman getting the worst of it against Williams and Gatling tonight so far.
Let me say now, come on, we're talking anytime that you average 7 offensive rebounds during the course of 82 games like Jason Williams did. I have never seen that since 1973. Okay, that's a ton of offensive boards.
And that's 7 offensive boards he has already today. Kukoc with his second 3-point basket. And the biggest lead now for the Bulls established of 8 points, 61 to 53.
Well, you always have to pay attention to Kukoc and Pippen. They both shoot a very high percentage in threes.
Gatling working against Rodman and is pushed by Dennis. And that is the 3rd team foul against Chicago.
Dennis is working. Dennis is working very, very hard in this ballgame tonight. And mainly because he's playing a center position, then he's switching off, and sometimes he's playing power forward. And right now, Chicago's getting away with Tony Kukoc guarding Jason Williams because he cannot catch the ball down inside and make a move.
Kukoc and Rodman, this has been the lineup that worked for the Bulls to the tune of 13-1. When Longley went down. Unable to get the lay-in once again. Kukoc tries another 3. And Jason Williams trying to fight for the offensive rebound and wins it. What a great hustle play. And Kendall Gill wins it in.
Wow, what a finish.
Scottie Pippen just getting up now. And Michael Jordan pulls up for the jumper and hits. And an end-to-end wide-open affair with the Bulls leading once again by 8.
Anytime you're running on a break and you got a 4-man break, that trail guy has got to stay back. because you know that you had such a major advantage. If they get it in, they're coming right back at you.
Here's Sherman Douglas trying to go down the middle, and he does. Douglas now with 7. And a feverish pace here in the third quarter. The Bulls lead it by 6, 63-57.
And the reason why the people are upset, because Rodman tried to get the ball, jump out of bounds for a quick pass.
And they try to front Pippen, does Kendall Gill, and Scottie Pippen burns it. Scottie now with 17, so Jordan with 22, Pippen with 17, and once again, the Bulls lead by 8 points. Bulls led at the end of the quarter by 4, and at halftime by 4. Sherman Douglas and a long rebound by Harper. He's got Kukoc on the wing, but Harper called for the offensive foul. Good call. Look at the tangle of bodies getting up there.
Now, as you're coming down the floor here right now, the Nets just stepped right up in here. Now, just keep an eye on this now. Now, you're going to see Pippen slip right down inside. You can see he's right there. Little pain. Where? We have no idea. Now, this is just good hustle by Jason Williams. And then an incredible ending by Kendall Gill.
And Harper's foul is his third. 5:20 remaining, and Scottie Pippen intercepting that careless pass. Pippen going strong to the basket in the lay-in. Pippen now with 19 points, playing with abandon, and the lead is 10. The first double-digit lead tonight for the Bulls. The Nets led early on by 9.
You have to be very careful now. You still have 5 minutes to go, and you've got to get higher percentage shots.
We're in the third quarter, and the Bulls doing it with transition baskets here in the third quarter. Kendall Gill with a perimeter shot, and Rodman with an outlet to Harper. Nets back defensively, however. And there is Pippen posting up against Gill. Double team, Rodman, no basket, and a pushing foul, and it happened before the shot.
Joey Crawford is saying that the push happened before the pass even got to the area. And you got to give the Bulls a lot of credit. The standing ovation is deserving. They are playing the Nets game. They are pushing in transition, and they're breaking the defense down.
22nd timeout called by the Bulls.
Now you're going to see the push right there. You see it all happen on the way down from the foul line down. Dennis Rodman thought he had a three-point play there.
Coming up next, more playoff action continues. On TNT, Game 1 between the LA Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers from the Great Western Forum. That's coming up next on TNT. Right here, the Bulls lead it by a score of 67-57. As Hubie mentioned, the Bulls have swept virtually every year that they have won the NBA championship in the first round. Very important for them to get the rest, because it could be as many as 8 or 9 days. And for a veteran team, that's money in the bank. Kukoc goes into Jordan. He's open and backs it in. Michael Jordan now with 24. He had only 6 at the end of the quarter, but he has more than made up for it.
When you play the Bulls and you have a game plan, it's difficult to sustain it for the 48 minutes unless you stay within high percentage shots.
Lead is 12. Lucius Harris in the game, tries to get it to Williams, and that'll be the 4th personal foul on Tony Kukoc over the top of Williams.
Now that was costly, mainly because what can Jason Williams do with the ball once he catches it? See, why go for the cheap interception here? Right there, and then you catch on the arm.
Ronnie Cycli is coming to the game and playing the post position for Gatling. Rodman guarding him. Kukoc remains in the game with 4 fouls, and he's trying to harass Cycli. 8 on the shot clock, and here's Kendall Gill working against Pippen, and Cycli misses, and the Nets had to rush their shots. The Bulls defensively were devastating, and Kukoc is fouled by Lucius Harris and hits the floor hard.
I give the Bulls a lot of credit because they're turning game plan around here and jamming it down New Jersey's throat.
And playing a devastating defense.
Well, we know that they can suffocate you defensively. And if you notice, they're not fouling. New Jersey is not getting on the foul line. And then the transition game has just been superior. They're getting good. Everyone is running the lanes, and they're running hard.
Lucius Harris picking up his 4th personal foul. Kukoc cannot connect on the first. Kerry Kittles, who has 3 fouls, will come in for Harris. Kittles has only 4 points tonight on 2 for 8 shooting, and if the Nets are going to make any kind of a run in this game, you'll need Kittles' long-range shooting.
Well, you just cannot take away Van Horn and Kittles and expect to get it done on the road. They're your two of your 3 high-powered scorers.
That's 37 points between the 2, and Van Horn in the dressing room, bothered by the stomach virus, obviously weakened tonight. Lead is 12 for the Bulls with 3:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Ronnie Cycling, and here is Kittles for a 3, and he can't connect. So Kittles now 2 of 9 from the field. Randy Brown in the game. He throws it away. And now Kukoc puts it back. And Dennis Rodman extending himself, trying to save it, cannot. Dennis Rodman with a patented horizontal extension gets a hand from the crowd.
A great effort by Dennis, but really a terrific play by Kukoc. He tried to save that and came around. Right now, Ronnie Cycling has got to come to life here. When he catches the ball, they're running Kukoc at him. They're double teaming him hard. He must find the free people.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. And driving in and drawing the foul for the Nets is Kerry Kittles. The Nets have scored only 9 points so far in the 3rd quarter. They trail by 12.
Well, the Nets are injured and ailing, but so are the Chicago Bulls, playing tonight without Luke Longley, activated for the playoffs. Question marks, your bruised left knee. When can you come out here and give your team some help?
Well, our target is the beginning of the 2nd round right now. I think that's the most realistic time for me.
All right, what do you think of Dennis's job at center?
Oh, he's doing a great job. He's been doing a great job for the last 2 months. But we were worried when I went down. He stepped in and done everything we want of him.
All right, thanks a lot. So back to Dick and Hubie.
All right, Craig. Luke Longley with a career-high scoring this year of 11.4 points per game. Kerry Kittles makes the first free throw and a chance to cut the deficit to 10 if he connects here.
And we want to bring out the point there. Luke Longley is 7 foot, 285 pounds. Dennis Rodman is 6'6", 210 pounds, and he's playing the center position and getting it done for this team night in and night out.
He gravitates toward the post, sometimes even more than Longley does, but that big body, you're going to need him. Bill Wennington has come in the game for the first time. And Kendall Gill saves the ball, but it's knocked away. Helter-skelter, and Jordan will try to settle it with a 3 attempt. Comes out again to Randy Brown. Bill Wennington activated or on the playoff roster. And Rodman throws it away. That was, I think helter-skelter may work in the description of that sequence.
Well, the idea was great because Michael came on a guard around. The fake was good. Michael actually was ahead of his man. Unfortunately for Dennis, he anticipated and laid it out there about an extra 3 feet.
Winding down to 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Kittles with a spin move against Pippen. And Kerry Kittles struggling from the field. 2 of 10. And again, a 10-point lead. The Bulls with the ball. They've got Randy Brown and Bill Wennington with Rodman, Pippen, and Jordan. Got Pippen and Jordan out there. Doesn't matter who the other 3 are. 6 on the shot clock. Jordan guarded by Gill. Jordan trying to make the move against Kendall Gill. And Sherman Douglas, smallest guy on the floor, winds up with it.
You can see Jason Williams is not exhausted, but he's sucking for air right now.
Cycling going around Wennington, but lost control. And Kendall Gill misses a jumper. The Nets have scored only 11 points here in the 3rd quarter, and we have a minute 12 to go. There's their shooting. 4 of 20, and it's not pretty.
It's not pretty, Dick, and as you look up, they're still only down 10. Now Clark.
Pippen, again fronted defensively, got the easy lay-in.
Dick, if you're going to front the post, you have to jam the passer and turn the guy, turn him so that he cannot throw that lob pass. Unfortunately, they're laying off the passer, and he's picking out the pass.
And the great playmaker, Dennis Rodman, with 5 assists, getting it to him. And we'll have a foul away from the ball. And it'll be a shooting situation, both teams in the penalty, and that'll be Randy Brown with his third. Michael Jordan remaining on the floor. Normally he goes to the bench in the waning seconds in minutes of the third quarter, early fourth, and gets a rest there. But Jordan playing the ultimate, the distance here in the third quarter. Sunday at 5:45 on TNT, Billy Crystal and Deborah Winger star in Forget Paris. And Sunday at 6:30, Rob Morrow stars in the TNT original The Day Lincoln Was Shot, coming up Saturday on TNT and Sunday as well. Capacity crowd here at the United Center in Chicago as the Bulls begin their journey for what they hope will be their 6th NBA title. Douglas with the free throw, and the Bulls lead by 11. Steve Kerr into the game. Kerr and Jordan with Wennington, Pippen, and Rodman. Jordan fouled as he spins his way in the lane. Ronnie Cycli.
The reason why Cycli is upset is because he thought that he was holding his area. And just because Jordan does a spin move and comes into him, he does not have to relinquish his space.
Michael Jordan, who sort of backed off his original feeling that he would not play if Phil Jackson was not going to be the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. But I had an opportunity to talk to Jordan before the game. He said, look, I can't adjust to a new coach who's going to come in with a new system, not at this stage of my career, nor do I want to play on a team that doesn't have a great chance to win a championship. That's the only reason I want to play. So there's a good chance he will be through after this playoff is over, despite what people say about him wanting to play more.
Right now, Sherman Douglas is having a lot of trouble because he's getting down into the lane, he's elevating, and he's trying to make a decision to pass the basketball. The Bulls are cutting down the passing lanes, and he's ending up with turnovers.
4 on the shot clock. Michael Jordan, and fires it off of Joey Crawford. 3 seconds on the shot clock for the Bulls, and 4.9 in this third quarter. So John Calipari warned, telling Craig Sager about how dangerous the Bulls are in the third quarter, and they're doing it now. Here's Kerry Kittles going the distance, and with .7 is fouled. Kerry Kittles will have a chance to cut the lead to 10 as Steve Kerr commits the foul with 0.7 of a second remaining.
Now, there was plenty of time here. I'm kind of surprised that Kittles did not pass this ball, because you had a guy right standing on the left side of your screen that was wide open for a layup.
81% free throw shooter, it was Kerry Kittles. And a chance to cut the lead to 10.
In spite of this horrendous quarter from the offensive end of the floor, they're right in the picture here.
And with 7/10 to go, Dennis Rodman flings it up court, out of bounds, and time runs out. Michael Jordan scored 11 in the third quarter for 25 in the game, and Scottie Pippen has 21. And John Calipari was right about how strong the Bulls come out in the third. They lead it over the Nets, game 1, by 72-62 after 3. As we start the fourth quarter here at the United Center, a 10-point Bulls lead. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Dick, Sam Cassell re-aggravated the groin injury. He's in a lot of pain. He loosened it up, and he's going to try to go. As for Keith Van Horn, the team doctor, Ray Ryder, is with him in the locker room right now, keeping an eye on the score and the situation, and he will be available if they need him.
Craig, Hubie, is there anyone on the floor playing tonight for the New Jersey Nets who are not hobbled or hurt or sick?
Yeah, it's a very difficult situation, and when you realize Van Horn averaged right at 20, Cassell right at 20. Now, at the end of 3 quarters, New Jersey shooting 41%, Chicago 50, the Nets 10 offensive rebounds.
And Michael Jordan did not take a breather at the end of the third or the start of the fourth, and Jordan is fouled by Sherman Douglas and will go to the line. Jordan has gone to the free throw line tonight and has done a pretty good job off the glass. And let's see if that foul is on Cassell. It is on Cassell, and it's 5 on Sam Cassell. So it may be a moot point as far as his groin injury is concerned as he goes to the bench. First free throw by Jordan, good.
Sam Cassell had 4 fouls, and he's got a groin problem.
He's in there.
And he's playing Michael Jordan. So I would think that the odds are very good that they would go to Michael Jordan, which they did, and he would either shoot over the top of them or he'd be fouled.
But Cassell played on 2 NBA titles with the Houston Rockets. Tongue-in-cheek, I might add. Michael Jordan playing all but 3 minutes of the game. And here is Sherman Douglas, tipped up and in by Ronnie Cycli. 73-64. The lead is 9 for the Bulls. They certainly have been tested by the Nets to this point tonight.
Right now they have to get a little lucky and try to put a little damper on the Michael Jordan game right now.
Scott Burrell came on big in the second half of the year. Kittles is guarding him. Steve Kerr trying to get position, and an off-balance jumper off the glass for Kerr.
Well, we very seldom see that. By that we mean Steve Kerr taking it to the basket in a half-court set.
The lead is 11. Douglas, Kittles, Harris, Cycli, and Gatling for New Jersey. Loose ball. And 5 on the shot clock now. Kittles with the ball in his hands, guarded by Jordan. Fires it up, and Wennington gets the rebound.
Look up, look up.
Here's Michael Jordan. He'll get it, and will get the foul as well. And Kerry Kittles committing another one. That'll be 4 on him. So all bad news for John Calipari in that sequence.
Well, first of all, that's frustration. Mainly because of Kittles, as he released the shot, Jordan took off. And when he took off, this is just good basketball. Burrell sees him, lays it. Now watch, see how he holds him? Well, of course that's a foul.
And Michael Jordan, with 13 free throw attempts tonight, has 29 points. 78-64, the Bulls in front. And the biggest lead of the game for them as they extended here in the fourth. And trying to drive to the basket is Sherman Douglas, and Steve Kerr committing the foul. Jason Williams will replace Ronnie Cycli. So both players have been injured. Cycli with a bad foot has hardly played for New Jersey. And Williams coming back with a broken thumb tonight.
Well, right now you have Douglas on the floor hobbling. Kittles is struggling with his game.
Douglas with a reverse layup.
And then you look at this and say no Van Horn and no Cassell, your first and second leading scorers on the team. You look at the clock and you're only down 12 on the road. That's absolutely right. All they need to do is play a little better defense here.
Kerr, and watching him is Sherman Douglas, and they'll have an offensive foul called against the Bulls, and it'll be against Bill Wennington. So a timeout on the floor as there's Sherman Douglas with the reverse layup to put him in double figures. The Bulls lead by 12. And here is tonight's Dutch boy in the paint in the battle between the top 2 rebounders, average-wise in the NBA, Jason Williams and Dennis Rodman. And Williams with 13 boards to Rodman's 7, and the Bulls with a 2-point edge in the paint. Lucius Harris, Kerry Kittles, Jason Williams, Chris Gatling, and Sherman Douglas come out for the New Jersey Nets. For the Bulls, it'll be Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman, Scott Burrell, Scottie Pippen, and Dickie Simpkins as Michael Jordan goes to the bench with 29.
Now, New Jersey's going to make a run. You got to do it now because they have 3 subs out there. You got to take advantage.
Gatling misses, and Williams misses the tip-in, upset with himself for not getting the offensive rebound for the basket. And that'll turn it over. It'll be Nets ball. Last touch by the Bulls, and a good call by Lou Grillo.
I'm really impressed tonight with how hard Chicago is changing in. Anytime they get an opportunity, they are flying on the break. They're trying to force it and make something happen.
Douglas getting it into Jason Williams, guarded by Dickie Simpkins. The double and a deflection by Burrell.
For that.
6 on the shot clock, so the Nets are going to have to hurry. Kerry Kittles with the tip now by Williams. Jason Williams tips it in on the miss by Kittle. Williams tonight with 6 points, but 15 rebounds and 9 offensive boards.
Dick, he tapped that in the coming with his left hand.
And a 10-point game for the Bulls with 8:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Game 1, best of 5. Burrell pulls up over Douglas and fires it away. And the rebound. And Williams tries to save it, and the Nets wind up with it, and Douglas got hit in the face.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman, that was loose. Rodman got popped in the eye, and then as he swung back, he catches Douglas right now. Now, this is extremely costly for the Nets because they only have 2 point guards.
Well, he's going to have to stay in, apparently, and Rodman picking up his third. Douglas is going to remain in there.
New York! New York!
You know, the Bulls are the world champs, but the Nets giving a terrific account of themselves considering their ailments and hurts, and a lot of them happening during this game. 8 on the shot clock. Here is Lucius Harris going in against Simpkins, sandwiched with Pippen, and a foul against the Bulls, and it'll be against Scottie Pippen.
You break the offense down for New Jersey. Anytime that they hit to the wing, whether it's Gill, Harris, you know, Kittles, whatever, and they go one-on-one off the dribble, they break the defense down. They either get fouled or they get a wide open layup. Now, if you come and double team them, which has happened, they give it up, and they've been getting good shots. So you know that this is going to be there, you know, in the next couple of games because of your athletic quickness off the dribble.
All right, Craig Sager, quick.
We're also sensing that this is the time to make a run. John Calipari just sent the training staff to the locker room. However, the doctor, Ron Ryder, said that Keith Van Horn is too drained to come back out. Dick?
All right, Craig, thank you. 8-point lead. Pippen misses, and now Harris has it, so the Nets are making a run. Okay, Coach, we did. Douglas has it. This is a young team. They haven't been in the playoffs, this Net organization, for 4 years. Down by only 8 points. That is an amazing story. Pretty spin roll from Douglas to Jason Williams, and the Bulls' lead is down to 6, and this crowd has been silenced here at the United Center.
That was a sensational pass by Douglas.
Under 7.5 remaining. 6-point lead, and Douglas is guarding Pippen. Here is Simpkins with a wild hook shot, and it's in the hands of Williams, and the Nets are making a run in the first half of this fourth quarter. 8-0 run by New Jersey.
So you have to make a decision here when you're going to bring Jordan back and go, you know, with your first unit guy.
Jordan getting a breather, which he did not get at the end of the third, early fourth, and a Bulls foul. That'll be their 4th team foul as Kendall Gill comes in and Michael remains on the line.
Now this is your screen and roll right here. You can see Jason Williams did not hold the screen. He made the bump and made the move. Beautiful pass, excellent execution.
Well, we've got an interesting game 1 here as the Nets refuse to die with 7:03 remaining in the fourth.
Would like to show you Sherman right here. Sherman Douglas with the ball. Here comes Jason Williams on the screen. Now, as Williams goes here, Sherman comes off. He makes a great pass. But watch the slow reaction of the Bulls' offside defense. Now, keep it. Now, this is just a beautiful pass. Now, you say, well, you know, maybe they didn't want to foul. Hey, Jason Williams, you got to put Jason Williams on a foul line. He's got to make the foul shots. No dunks.
Michael Jordan has come in the game. When he went out, the Bulls were up by 12. Their lead has been halved to 6. It was 3 minutes on the bench, so he's back along with Ron Harper. Sherman Douglas going to the baseline. Gill fighting his way in. Gatling. Oh, big. Chris Gatling with the basket, and it's 78-74. A 10-0 run now by the Nets.
Well, you can see they are taking the ball off the dribble. They're breaking the Bull down, and they are so athletic. Oh, Coach, come on.
I've never seen a more devastating stuff by Tony Kukoc in his career.
Oh, come on. He just said, hey, I'm going all the way.
And the lead is 6, so the Bulls now with defending with Simpkins, Harper, Jordan, Kukoc. and Pippen. And there is Gatling with a spin move on the baseline over Kukoc. And Gatling now with 15 points. There are 4 Nets in double figures, and Gatling with 15 is their leading scorer.
Rick, he's got a nice game with his back to the basket. He's got a lot of moves.
And the lead for Jordan, guarded by Kittles, who's playing with 4 fouls. Scottie Pippen and Jason Williams with the rebound. He's got 17 rebounds, and those are Dennis Rodman numbers.
Just remember, this is a guy who's been out. He's missed 17 games with a broken thumb.
Went out on March the 27th, made the All-Star team. Sounds like a high school guy who made an All-Star team. Selected Sherman Douglas with a 2, and the lead now 80-78, a 2-point lead. At 1 point, the Nets trail the Bulls by 14. What a comeback.
They're doing a great job holding the Bulls to 1 shot attempt. That's been a major key in this run.
And that's what the Washington Bullets did last year in the first round when they played the Bulls so tough. They went down in 3 straight, but they played Chicago 3 tough games in round 1 a year ago. 5 fouls on Kittles, so Kerry is 1 away from disqualification. And that is the 3rd team foul against the Nets. Lucius Harris will send Kittles to the bench. Kittles has scored 8 tonight. Jordan is guarded by Harris. Tough defensive assignment for the 5th-year player from Long Beach State. Michael Jordan lost it from behind, and it was last touched by the Nets.
And Joey Crawford was all over that, Dick. He was right on that.
It was off the knee of Sherman Douglas. So the Bulls have 13 seconds to attempt a shot with under 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Chicago leading by only 2. Harper looking for Simpkins. And Kukoc, Gatling, and a deflection. Michael Jordan fires it up at the buzzer, and the shot clock expires.
A great defensive play by Kendall Gill, who came to the aid of the defender who was beaten on that jump shot move. Kendall came and got a piece of that shot, Dick.
Kendall Gill, a defensive hero in the clinching game against Detroit against Grant Hill. The Nets on a 14-2 run can tie the game with 4.5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Gatling working against Kukoc, and he gets free and ties the game. Gatling ties it at 80.
Dick, he's got a ton of moves. He can hit the hooks. He can take you off the dribble. He's got the spin fadeaway jump shot.
4:13 to go. 17 for Gatling. And Scottie Pippen driving to the basket is fouled. That is the 4th team foul against the Nets. So both teams have 4, and Gatling commits his 2nd.
Now just keep an eye on Gatling. See, he's done the spin move on 2 occasions. That time he just takes Kukoc strong. Now he's got it all, so you've got to pay attention to him. You know that Jason Williams is on the opposite side for the miss to get the offensive rebound.
The Nets, with a valiant comeback, have tied the Bulls at 80-80 with 4:10 to go in the 4th. Meanwhile, tomorrow on NBC, it's showtime, followed by the Cavaliers and the Pacers in their Game 2, and the Spurs against the Phoenix Suns. That's tomorrow on NBC. Well, here's how this game sets up as we get down to the stretch run. Each team with 3 full timeouts remaining. The Bulls also have a 20, and neither team has a foul to give. Remember, the Bulls in 7 first-round series are 21-1, a staggering statistic brought out by Hubie at the top of the game. And last year they'd eliminated the Bullets. Now the Wizards, and John Calipari said that he viewed the videotape of that series, and one of the things you pointed out, the Bullets did not allow a second shot, and they did not back down. 2 things that the Nets have been able to do tonight.
And they've had, you know, their long stretches where they were not productive from the offensive end, but they have stuck to their game plan. They're driving the ball hard. They're getting good offensive rebounding, and now they're wearing out a guy who's on fire, and you'll kind of like that.
And the Nets looking to take the lead, but they turn it over as Sherman Douglas throws it away. The last lead that the Nets have, Hubie, was 20 to 19, but the Bulls have the ball and a 1-point lead.
I was stunned that he passed the ball that time, mainly because he had a bad angle. If you're going to feed a guy who's overplayed that way, get down below the foul line extended. It increases your passing angle.
3 minutes, 35 seconds to go, and 9 on the shot clock for the Bulls, up by 1. And Harper bobbled the pass. He was wide open. Kukoc with 1 second on the clock. It's a huge three-point basket.
What a big play. You can see that Harper does not want to take the shot, probably because of the lower back problem that he has. But that was an excellent choice to go to Kukoc.
And that puts pressure on the Nets offense to come back with something. Here is Gatling, and Chris Gatling hits the jumper. What a big fourth quarter he's had with 8 points, 19 in the game to bring the Nets to within a pair.
Major thing right now for both teams. You do not want to give up a second shot, and also no layup in transition.
Harper trying to post up against Douglas. Here's Kukoc. He's open again, and he misses this time. Out of bounds. Nets ball with 2:47 showing on the clock. And Craig Sager reporting to us moments ago that Dennis Rodman said the layoff got him out of the routine, so he doesn't feel up to it, whatever that means.
Well, I would say that Jason Williams has a little bit to do with it.
Yes, because they're not playing solitaire out there.
Yeah, there you go.
Rodman with only 7 rebounds in the game. Terry Kittles is going to come back in the game. Rodman picking up his 4th. And Kittles, who now comes back with 5 personals. And it's now or never for the New Jersey Nets.
Well, Jason Williams has been a handful on the offensive board. And even when he does not come up with the rebound, he's knocking people around. And in return, Gatling is freeing himself up. Now, remember what we told you. Now, going down the stretch, you have 3 bad foul shooters out on the floor, including Nets. Gatling, Williams, and Sherman Douglas all shoot in the 60s.
Gatling at an even 60%, almost an air ball, but he makes 1 out of 2. And the Bulls lead by 1, 84 to 83. They've got Jordan, Kerr, Rodman, Pippen, and Kukoc in the lineup.
Now, New Jersey has 3 fulls, Chicago 3 fulls. Both teams shooting the penalty.
Here's Jordan working against Kittles on the turnaround. Michael Jordan now with 31 points. And the lead is 3 as we have 2 minutes and 18 and running, and a timeout called by New Jersey. Jordan's first basket here in the 4th quarter, and here's how he got it.
This is just, he's played strong. You see Kittles is right on him. The next foul on Kittles is out of there. You would like to have seen Kittles elevate, but not to block the shot.
Bulls lead by 3 as we come down the stretch. The Nets with 2 timeouts remaining. The Bulls with 3 and a 20. Neither team with a foul to give, as the New Jersey Nets trying to score the big upset here in game number 1. New Jersey 9 of 14 shooting here in the 4th quarter. Here is Kendall Gill. He's tied up and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 2:06 on the clock, and Scottie Pippen with a personal.
Kendall Gill has had an excellent ball game tonight. We brought out the fact that he's been good defensively at both ends of the floor. His big point tonight is he has broken the defense down, Dick, time and time again.
Kendall Gill had 27 in the season finale against Detroit, which was a season tie. He led the Nets in scoring a year ago, but this year relegated to a role player and bothered by trade rumors that he was headed for Toronto.
Well, when you have a style of play the way the Nets play, you have to understand that they're lucky that they have a guy at this size that can play small forward, rebound, and then get out on the break and finish.
Well, the free throw could have tied the game, so the Bulls still lead by 1 with under 2 minutes remaining. Michael Jordan and the rebound. And the Nets, Sherman Douglas, and the Nets looking to take the lead with under 2 minutes remaining. Their last lead was a 20 to 19.
It's a 2-man game
in the 1st quarter. Douglas looking for Gatling, guarded by Rodman. Gatling has 9 of the last 12 points, and Chris Gatling gives the Nets the lead by 1, 87 to 86 with a minute and a half to go.
Well, Gatling, I tell you, he's got a great game. I could say it time and again. He wants the ball.
Scottie Pippen guarded by Kendall Gill with 10 on the shot clock for the Bulls. Jordan posting up, wants the ball against Kittles, who has 5 fouls. Michael Jordan fouled, and let's see who'll get it. He'll go to the line with 1:12 on the clock.
Well, there are 3 guys all over him in that situation.
It was Gill who got it.
Now, Kendall Gill is trying to give as much help as he can. Now, keep an eye there, right? I see Gill coming from the top, and then Gatling coming back. They know that Kittles has 5, so they're trying to protect him.
Michael Jordan now 12 of 15 from the free throw line and 32 points. But the Bulls getting all they can handle from a net team, playing without Keith Van Horn, who has spent the entire second half with stomach problems in the dressing room and not getting much production from Kerry Kittles. That's over 35 points. Jordan puts the Bulls up by 1.
Now, New Jersey they're calling timeout right now. That reduces New Jersey to 1 timeout.
Very risky with 1.
Now, keep an eye on this. This is an isolation, allowing Gatling to go one-on-one. You're allowed to use the forearm in the NBA. Now, that was an off-balance fadeaway. Nothing Rodman can do about it.
Gatling has scored 11 of the last 14 Nets points. There'll be 1 timeout left for the Nets, and they have to inbound the ball, but they'll do it under their own basket.
Yeah, they're going to stretch the defense, and the main thing here is when you bring it up, if you do go into Gatling, who has 11 points this quarter, you know that the Bulls might run a hard double team, force them to give up the ball.
Douglas,
spacing is key.
Picking up Douglas on the switch. Kendall Gill guarded by Pippen. Under a minute remaining and 10 on the shot clock. Here is Gatling, and he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2 with 55.9. And the foul is on Dennis Rodman. That is his 5th personal foul.
Now, see, this is a guy with a game. See, now just watch. He calls for the ball, and he splits the double team. All right, and that was a strong move, and mainly because he's a big guy who can dribble the basketball.
But Gatling only 2 of 4 from the line tonight. And he makes the first to tie it up at 88-88.
Now the Bulls are sitting in good shape timeout-wise. They have 3 fulls and a 20. Now they're bringing in Steve Kerr to give them another 3-point shooter. So you have Pippen, Kukoc, and Kerr out there with Jordan and Rodman.
Gatling with 13 points here in the quarter, and the Nets lead 89-88, and they're extending their defense.
Well, what they want to do is try to waste a few seconds, maybe eliminate one option.
15 on the shot clock. You're watching the game clock. 4th quarter. The Nets lead by 1. Michael Jordan goes to the basket, and Jordan goes in, and he's fouled. And let's see who gets it. If it's on Kittles, it's 5. Or 6, I should say. In any event, Michael Jordan will have a chance to put the Bulls back in the lead. Jason Williams picking up the free throw.
Now that was a strong move by Michael. Now just watch the black shirts all come for him there. Now they could have called on any one of 3 guys.
And Jordan ties the game. He's 14 of 17 now from the line. Keep in mind, and Hubie, you pointed out a few moments ago that the Nets have only 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, and you don't need a timeout right now, because even if they shoot and score, you can make your call right here and save that 1 timeout.
He missed the free throw, and the score remains tied at 89.
That's right. You make your call here, you're in good shape.
16 on the shot clock. Under a half a minute remaining in a tie ball game in game 1, going down to the wire. A surprising game 1 for the world champions. Kendall Gill tries to feed Williams out of bounds. Last touched by the Bulls, and the Nets will have 4 seconds to attempt a shot.
Now that was a great pass by Gatling to Gill. Gill dropped it off perfectly to Jason Williams, but he could not make the catch.
And the Nets are calling their last timeout. They'll have 4 seconds to try a shot, 18.8 to go to try to break the tie. Chicago Bulls being challenged all the way in this game. The Nets will have 4 seconds to attempt a shot. That's why how much time remains in the 4th quarter, and New Jersey is out of timeout.
Yeah, the main thing is pressure the ball. You know that once the Nets get the basketball, 4 seconds is a long time in the NBA. You can break the defense down and take it to the hole. Big thing that happens now, if the Nets shoot, somebody must get back, because do not assume that Chicago will call timeout, because they might fast break with the ball.
Sherman Douglas will inbound. Gill, Kittles, Williams, and Gatling to Kerry Kittles. Kittles goes up with the shot. No good. Batted away with 13.2. And it's going to be Bulls ball. So Chicago will have a chance to win it here.
Chicago has 3 fulls and a 20. They're bringing Kerr in the game right now, mainly because you want another 3-point, another excellent perimeter shooter.
So it's Pippen who will inbound along with Kerr, Jordan, Kukoc, and Rodman. Jordan has 34, Pippen 22. So the game could be riding right here with 6.3 seconds in riding. Kukoc fires it up and misses. And we're going to overtime. Very nearly had a miraculous toss. That ball, as time ran out by Sherman Douglas, almost went in the basket.
That ball goes to the right of the rim. Now, this is just forced by Kukoc. Now, just keep an eye on this toss. The ball goes to the right of the rim. Right there, off the right of the rim.
We are going to a 5-minute overtime session. The Nets and the world champs, 89-89 OT. Here we come. Start of overtime, 5-minute session, tied at 89. And by the way, that heave by Douglas, which almost went in, would not have counted according to Bernie Fryer. So we go to overtime. Each team has 3 full timeouts. The Bulls also have a 20 from the 4th quarter, and each team also has 3 fouls to give. These are the overtime records this year. The Nets were 3-4, including a loss to the Bulls at home, 100-98 on January the 23rd. And the Bulls lost only 1 overtime game. Kukoc will jump center against Jason Williams. And the tip is controlled by New Jersey. And a foul committed by Scottie Pippen. That is his 3rd. Amazing that with all of the ailments and problems, and Van Horn out the second half, now this team down by 14 in the 4th quarter comeback.
Very spirited, very courageous, and we've beaten it a little bit with Van Horn and Cassell, but we're talking about 40 points.
Here is Gatling, and it's blocked by Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan blocked Chris Gatling on a great defensive play.
They have an advantage.
And here is Pippen, and he misses the lay-in, and a foul is called. They had a 5-on-4, but Scottie Pippen could not convert. He'll shoot 2, however, from the line.
When that shot is blocked at the other end of the floor, Gatling is holding his elbow. Now keep an eye. They front. Gatling catches. Now watch Jordan come right in the middle of your picture, right there. Clean block. But now Gatling goes down. Ooh, big miss. Gatling goes down, and he's holding, his elbow. So for the Nets, you're hoping that he's going to be okay because he has been carrying this club.
Is there a New Jersey Net who doesn't have an injury? Scottie Pippen missed both free throws, and the Nets are going to get the ball. And a loose ball foul is on Dennis Rodman, and he's gone. He's fouled out. Dennis Rodman with 6 points tonight, and a subpar game off the boards with only 8 rebounds.
Now keep an eye to the middle of your screen. You can see Rodman. He's pushing Jason Williams in the lower back with his left forearm. Joey Crawford right on the play. Now tonight, Rodman definitely has been taken advantage of by Jason Williams.
Here's Kerry Kittles, and one of the Bulls got a piece of that one.
You have to pay attention now to Simpkins. You cannot say, hey, Rodman's out of the game, so everything's going to be easy.
Kukoc going to the basket, and Harper with 9 on the shot clock, and Ron Harper misses, but Scottie Pippen is there to tip it in. Pippen now with 24 points, and the Bulls get the first points of this first overtime session.
Big thing for the Nets now. Stay within your continuity and keep it moving. Keep the ball moving. They're screening across for Gatling, bringing him to the ball side. They have Pippen guarding Gatling now.
8 on the shot clock, and the double team on Gatling. Here is Sherman Douglas, and Kerry Kittles lays it in for the tying basket at 91. Of alert play by Douglas under the hoop.
Excellent pass. 2 people on top of him, and a great catch by Kittles, and he finished with his left hand.
Kittles with 10 in the game. 15 on the shot clock. 3:20 remaining in the First 5-minute overtime session. The Bulls and the Nets tied at 91. Here's Michael with a jumper. And Kittles gets the rebound. Kerry Kittles hasn't gotten on track tonight. 91-91 the score. And Kendall Gill with a jumper misses. And guess what? Jason Williams kept it alive. 18 rebounds.
The Nets are doing a good job when they drive from the one wing. They're bringing a guy from the opposite side of the floor right into the foul line area, and he has been open.
12 on the shot clock. Gatling in a familiar spot. Turnaround. And Dickie Simpkins is fouled by Jason Williams. That'll be Williams' 4th personal foul. And it comes with 2:39 remaining in this 5-minute overtime session. Steve Kerr will come back in for his offense as Harper goes out.
Well, they're doing right now. See, Harper is hurting. There's no doubt about it. He has passed up at least 3 to 4 shots since he came back in the game in the 4th quarter. But the man, the lower back area, and this is smart. Go with Steve Kerr, an excellent spot-up shooter.
Harper scored all of his 13 in the 1st quarter when the Bulls really needed it. Here's Jordan working in, loses the ball, kicked around, and fighting for it is Pippen. 17 on the shot clock, and the Nets call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining, and it was Kerry Kittles who saved the ball. So despite the 3 of 14 shooting, even Kittles gets hurt a little bit here.
Just keep an eye on Michael now as he makes a spin. Kittles got a piece of it. He hit it out, and then when Jason Williams came on the double team, they knocked it away. And then Kerry Kittles just made a great play.
We're in overtime, tied at 91, and we have another big one to come on TNT as the Lakers go against the Portland Trail Blazers coming up next right here on TNT. Both teams are struggling from the field in this overtime session. Each team has scored only 2 points. But Michael Jordan said yesterday, what are the chances of the Nets winning a game? He said we would have to all fall asleep for the Nets to win 1 game in this series.
Well, that's been, they honestly thought that Cycli, Cage, and also Jason Williams were definitely going to be out in this game.
Williams has only played 42 minutes with 18 rebounds and 10 offensive. Kerry Kittles with a miss, and the Bulls again with a chance to take the lead with under 2 minutes remaining in overtime. And this is an experienced playoff team with 5 NBA titles behind them. They know how to win down the stretch in big games, especially overtime.
They're bringing Michael into the post now.
Kukoc to Pippen, knocked away by
Give it up,
Kerry Kittles. It's a 4-on-2 break. Kittles will go in for the shot. Jason Williams with his 11th offensive rebound. Incredible. Broken thumb. They didn't know if he could play. Gatling with a turnaround, doesn't make it. And Scottie Pippen calls a timeout before he lost his footing. Pippen gets the timeout call with 1:21 to go and the score tied, and the Nets all over him.
Yeah, well, they have a luxury right here. They can call a 20 or they can call a regular timeout. Now, you have to like the shots that the Nets have been getting. Their last 3 shots have been wide open, high percentage. The ball just has not dropped.
Here's the picture, tied at 91 in overtime, 1:21 remaining in the 5-minute session. A huge edge and rebounding by the Nets with Jason Williams, 19 rebounds, 11 off the offensive glass. Dennis Rodman fouled out with 8 boards and only 6 points, but the Bulls have the ball in a tie game and 17 on the shot clock.
Well, the big thing right now is you know that Michael Jordan or Pippen are usually options 1 and 2.
One has it right now, fires away and misses, and Douglas the rebound as we get close to 1 minute remaining. New Jersey and Chicago each with 2 timeouts left. Bulls also have a 20 and each team with 1 foul to give. Kerr is guarding Douglas. Here's Gatling again in a familiar spot where he's done big damage in the 4th quarter. Kittles has it knocked away by Michael Jordan. Basket and a foul. Michael Jordan can give the Bulls a 3-point lead with a critical defensive play with under a minute remaining in overtime.
Just watch as Michael gambles right there. You know, before he retired and went to baseball, he was always 1, 2, or 3 in the league in steals. Now you can see Gill, he didn't get him early enough. You know, you got to get him early where you can get the hand out of there so that you get the sure miss and force him to make the foul shots.
Jerry West, who should know, said Michael Jordan is the greatest player ever to play the game, period. And he's showing it in overtime down the stretch.
Plenty of time right now. You have 43.5 seconds. New Jersey will have 1 timeout remaining.
37 points for Michael Jordan, but it was on the defensive end that they'll remember in this one if the Bulls go on and win. The Nets had a chance to take the lead, tied at 91. They didn't, and this big play.
This is just a great gamble by Michael. Kittle's left it right out there. But before this play, a good defensive play by Scottie Pippen on Chris Gatling to force him to pass the ball out. Now, as we go in here in this last 43 seconds, New Jersey has 1 full. Chicago 2 fulls and a 20. And remember, Chicago has 1 foul to give.
And here is Kendall Gill, blocked by Pippen.
Great block. Great block.
And the Bulls want a timeout, and they don't call. They don't get it. Now, Jordan and Pippen in midcourt talking about whether they wanted a timeout, but a foul. Kendall Gill is out of the game. And this is a defensive victory if it is a victory for Chicago. No question about it.
Now, once again, Scottie Pippen comes up with the clincher for you. Now, he's measuring him right here. Now, just look at this anticipation. Clean block all the way.
And Michael Jordan fouled by Gill, who's gone. Kendall Gill scored 14 points in the game. Michael Jordan has given the Bulls a 4-point lead, can make it 5 with 34.3 on the clock here in overtime.
Now, New Jersey only has 1 timeout to go.
21 free throws, but Jordan misses the second, and New Jersey uses up their last timeout in overtime, trailing by 4 with a little over a half a minute remaining. We'll be back for perhaps the finish. We're not so sure about that. Blazers and Lakers coming up next on TNT, but right now the Nets, who have used their last timeout, trail by 4 points. That's what's coming up next, but the Bulls have 1 foul to give, which you kind of know they're going to use, Hubie.
Yeah, this is very critical right now. You must get the ball inbounds, and then you have to understand that when you make your move, that the Bulls have a foul to give. The key is you do not need a 3. What you need is a quick timeout. Now, there was the lay-in game by Harper stepping over. One thing now is all coaches have a quick scoring play that you want to score within 2, 3, or 4 seconds.
Douglas will inbound, and Jordan knocks it away. Remember, New Jersey has to get the ball inbounds. They are out of timeouts.
Big thing right now is if you score quick, you can play good, solid defense without fouling, and then you're still going to have time.
Here is Lucius Harris, guarded by Kukoc, and a foul is called against Kukoc. That was the foul to give for the Chicago Bulls. So the next time they foul, it'll be a shooting situation.
Now, that has reduced it down now, so there's only 6 seconds difference in the 24-second clock. Main thing right now for New Jersey is to get a quick score.
Kittles will inbound this time, and he finds Douglas with under a half a minute to go and 20 on the shot clock. Douglas loops it up.
Yes.
Sherman Douglas cuts it to 2, and now the tight defense that you're talking about.
Now, well, right now you've got to get up and play here. You cannot. Okay,
Kittles is guarding Jordan, and they're letting him use the clock.
You can't. You cannot do that. You've got to go for the steal and the foul, because once the clock came down to the 6 seconds, they took 6 seconds to score. When they inbounded the ball, there was 24 seconds left. Once they inbounded the ball with 24 seconds to go, now you've got to go for the foul and force the Chicago Bulls.
It's got to be done in the backcourt. Jordan on the line, 16 of 21 from the free throw line. And the lead is 3.
Now remember, New Jersey has no timeouts remaining. So they're going to have to inbound the ball and take it down the floor quickly. Now, if they shoot and miss, you've got to put a body on a man because you can get a three.
It is now still a one-possession game.
All right, you got to get it up now.
Down 96-93. They have not made a three-point basket tonight.
Switch on every ball cross.
Sherman Douglas fires up a three. It's short, and the Bulls are going to win it in overtime. 96-93. The Chicago Bulls have withstood a withering comeback by the New Jersey Nets in the fourth quarter and win it in overtime, 96-93. Craig Sager.
Well, Michael, you made so many big shots to win games. You had 39 points tonight, but it was defense in the overtime. 2 steals, but then the sensational steal right here. You had the 2 early blocks.
Well, I mean, we were not shooting the ball well. We couldn't get any scores, so our defense had to hold up. You know, I made a good steal, then Scotty comes right back and makes a good block. So, I mean, defense wins championships. We know that, and tonight we showed that.
Did you learn a lot from the Nets?
Hey, they came out and played with a lot of heart. You know, I think the first game was a jitter game. You know, I know we can play a lot better. You know, I'm pretty sure they're going to go back and make adjustments, but I think this is where we should have the advantage. You know, the mentality of going back and looking at the film and making adjustments.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
All right, 39 for Michael Jordan, but big defensive plays by both Michael and Scottie Pippen as the Chicago Bulls take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-5 series against the Nets, who gave them all they could handle. Well, we're going to go take a commercial break, but when we come back, we'll join the game between the Lakers and the Blazers with Jim Durham and Cheryl Miller in Los Angeles. For us, so long, everybody, from Chicago.